Publishing is a growing industry in Pakistan. It's not a very highly developed industry, but it's coming up. And I think one of the reasons that it's coming up is that there is so much writing going on in Pakistan. There's a lot of research going on, and there are so many subjects to write about. I think Pakistan is a writer's delight and a researcher's delight, because of the vast number of themes and subjects that they can cover in Pakistan. There are stories about children who are kidnapped and made into camel kids. There are hidden treasures of archives in people's homes. There are stories of honor killings. There are stories of women being buried alive. And of course there are some wonderful stories as well. There are stories of courage, of social work as being done by Idhi. So there is so much to write about in Pakistan, and our authors are doing that. So actually, because writing is coming up, it is flourishing, it's thriving, publishers will necessarily, I think, be a part of the growth. It is actually publishing and writing in Pakistan so far is an urban phenomenon, but I think a lot of the stories are based in rural areas, such as Daniel Moinuddin's book about the Punjab rural area, other worlds, other windows. Zulfikar Ghose's book, The Murder of Aziz Khan. So whereas the writers are living in urban areas, there are some who have experience of rural areas and are writing about those. But it is more or less an urban phenomenon. As a publisher, I feel that I have an enormous responsibility, and my role is to project Pakistani writers, to help give them a place in the sun, to protect their work, to protect their copyright, ensure that they get a fair return for their work, so that they can continue writing on a full-time basis. Book piracy is a huge issue in Pakistan. The trouble is that whenever either an author doesn't become very popular, if they do, then their books are pirated. So either way, they don't get enough royalties to support them, and you end up with even authors like Faiz Ahmad Faiz, Mushtaq Ahmad Yusfi, working, holding full-time jobs. Mushtaq Ahmad Yusfi has worked in a bank all his life, whereas just compare that to J.K. Rowling, who is one of the richest women in the world, richer than the Queen of England. Unfortunately, this is not the case in Pakistan, and writers have to take up jobs to support themselves, and it's a huge loss for the country. It's a huge loss for our national heritage, because actually, the corpus of the work that they do gets reduced enormously. Well, actually, there are pockets. There are different kinds of books that are popular in different languages. In the Urdu publishing area, poetry is extremely popular, and poetry and fiction actually are very, very popular in Pakistan. I mean, people like Ahmad Faraz, Faiz Ahmad Faiz, of course, Zehra Nigah, Fahmida Riaz, Kishwar Nahid, Iftikhar Arif, who write poetry in Urdu. Their books sell very well. They are very, very popular. Similarly, Urdu fiction writers are extremely popular. In English, now we have a new brand of, well, I wouldn't say new, because people like Bapsi Sidhwa, Zulfikar Ghose have been writing for decades. So English fiction is also doing extremely well. We have a large body of authors, and they are growing. People like Muhammad Hanif, Musharraf Ali Farooqi, H.M. Naqvi, Kamla Shamsi, and Nadeem Aslam, who now lives in the UK, but we claim him because he is originally from Pakistan. Mohsen Hamid. So our young group of authors is growing enormously, and recently there have been some younger authors who have done very well. Sharial Fazli and Shazaf Heather, who has written a book which has her first book. So I think it's a very vibrant and a growing scene in all the different segments. Well, authors who are writing in English are very popular. They have been shortlisted. Muhammad Hanif was shortlisted for the Man Booker Prize. and H.M. Naqvi won the DSC South Asian Literature Prize, and Mr. Jameel Ahmad has been shortlisted for the DSC South Asian Literature Prize. So these are authors who are writing originally in English, and that is the only way that they can be read abroad, and they are winning prizes. Many of them have been shortlisted for the Orange Prize, the Guardian Prize. So we are very proud to say that I think our authors are well known internationally. They are competing on an equal basis with authors from with international authors. But what we need is for our Urdu writers as well to have the same opportunity, and that's why I feel that translation is a very important business. We need to focus on translation, and this is something that I've been working on. We have translated Fahmida Riaz into Urdu, we've translated Kishwar Nahid, Iftikhar Arif, and we are continuing with this. We are currently working on Zehra Nigah's translations, and we've done many volumes of Faiz's translations into English, Allama Iqbal's translations. I think that is a key to introducing Pakistani creative writing to the outside world through translations. Well, I'm delighted to say that the Karachi Literature Festival has become a very successful event, and I have organized 3 so far. Mr. Asif Farooqi, the Urdu writer and critic, is a co-founder with me. Both Asif Farooqi and I founded this in 2010, and on the 15th, 16th and 17th of February, we'll be having our 4th Karachi Literature Festival. Again, the main purpose was to give a platform to Pakistani authors, to project them, and for their words to enter into the consciousness of the wider Pakistani public, because it's very important for authors to be connected with their readers. And one of our authors who attended the festival last year, Hanif Qureshi from the UK, said that he was delighted with the feedback that he got from the audience. So this is what we want. We want to connect our authors with the audience and the readers with the authors, because only then can this kind of relationship be developed, where the ideas that our authors write about have an impact on the minds of readers. And also our authors, as I said, they deserve a place in the sun, and it is the job of publishers such as us to provide them with these opportunities and to support them so that they can write more and add to the cultural heritage of Pakistan. We are getting about 100 authors this year, and we get an audience of 15 to 20,000 people. We have 4 or 5 parallel sessions, and it is not just in English, we get Urdu authors as well, and this year we are getting some Sindhi and Punjabi writers as well. So it's actually a multilingual festival, and it is really it's a major event in Karachi, and it's something that people look forward to all the year round.